Alright, hello everyone, it's Teamrocketdraws here with another Pokemon drawing tutorial. And for this video, guys, we're gonna be drawing a highly requested Pokemon, Machamp. So as you guys can see on screen, this is how he ends up looking like. So if you guys want to learn how to draw him, then let's get started. I'm also gonna put up a reference right now on screen, guys. That way it's easier for you guys to draw, and at the same time you guys will get all your details. Just keep in mind, guys, that he's not gonna end up looking like the reference 100%, but we do end up getting pretty close. And just like my other tutorials, we're gonna start off by doing like a sketch, you know, shapes and all that, and then you guys are gonna do your final drawing on your own. So remember not to press that hard, because we are going to be doing a lot of erasing, and just try to follow everything I do at the beginning, all the shapes, you know, the best you can. That way it's easier to follow. And if the video is too fast for you guys could always pause the video as you go, and if it's too slow, then you guys could just skip throughout the video, you know, once again at your own pace. So yeah, guys, first of all, we're gonna start off by doing that circle right here. Basically that's gonna be the head. So yeah, and just try to do it as perfect as you can. Obviously mine's not perfect, but the better that you guys make it, the easier it's gonna be to follow the tutorial. And once we have that, we're gonna split it in half both ways. Once again, the better that you guys make it, the easier it's gonna be to follow the tutorial. So I gotta say, that far away, maybe a little bit lower than I gotta say the height of the head of the actual circle almost. We're gonna do that line at the bottom right here. I'm just showing you guys basically where, like, how long to make it and where to end it and start it. That's basically gonna be the waist. So now that we have that, guys, we could just basically connect them. Right here is gonna be the right side of the chest, and at the top it starts off right in the middle of the circle, and then it just connects. Just round it off a little bit, and on the other side, on the other hand, it's gonna start a little bit higher. So this line right here that I'm doing right now is basically like a straight line. I do it a couple times, and then I just curve it down. So basically this is gonna be the torso. Now that we have that, guys, we're gonna do like a square at the bottom right here for his crotch area. Gotta say about that long, maybe a little bit higher or than the middle of the circle. Maybe you guys can use that as a guide, you know. So I gotta say about that long. And once again, like I said, it's gonna be the crotch area. Right now I'm just looking at the reference, guys, trying to see where's the best part, you know. So right here I'm measuring basically the length of the torso, and I just use my fingers for that. And then we're gonna do this line right here at the bottom, and it's just a reference line. It's gonna help us do the legs. So now we're gonna start off by doing one of the thighs, and just make sure, just look at where like it is, and then at the angle that I'm making it. And it's basically, we're gonna do an oval shape, and it's probably as long as the actual square that we did, a rectangle, in other better words. Right here I'm just trying to show you guys that basically the length is a little bit higher than the actual head, the circle that we did for the head, that is. And now for the other one, we're gonna do this line going at the bottom of that shape, just to help us do this one over here. Once again, it starts around there, and then we're just basically gonna do it up to that line that we just did. And this oval shape should be a little bit bigger than the other one on the other side. So if you guys notice, a little bit bigger. That's gonna be the thigh. So now for the legs, goes a little bit straight right there. And then around here it kind of curves in, and you can see a little bit of his muscle. And now we're just gonna curve it down. and then we're just gonna basically finish that shape right there, and we'll do the foot in a little bit. Now for the other side actually starts right there. Then we're gonna do this line going across, and it should be basically the same length as the other side. And now we could just around here, maybe it's almost in the middle, I gotta say. We're gonna do this side of his foot. And it doesn't have to be exactly like the reference, guys, or it doesn't have to be exactly like mine. If there's anything that doesn't add up in your drawing like it is on mine, just go with it, you know, just make any changes. As long as it works for your drawing, then you guys can make any changes. He's not the easiest Pokemon, I gotta say, but hopefully you guys do good. Alright, so now for the foot, we're just gonna curve this line a little bit, and then just do a straight line going down. Back here we're gonna do like a straight line, and once again curve it down in a way. And I'm doing it up to that line that we did earlier, and we could just basically connect it right there, the bottom being flat. Now for the other side, curves this one, goes down a little bit, and then we're just gonna do a straight line to around here, and then it goes up and it connects to the heel. So these should be around the same size, although that one that we just did should be a little bit smaller, but just try to get them the same size, you know. And if you guys notice, that foot is a little bit higher than the other one. If you guys look at the reference, then you'll see what I mean by that. Alright, so now that we have that, guys, we basically got the body. Now it's just about adding some of the stuff. So in the middle of the rectangle right there at the bottom, we're gonna do a line, and we're just gonna do it up through the chest. And basically, if you guys notice, it doesn't connect to the middle of the face. It's a little bit to the left. Right there I noticed that the line wasn't in the middle of the rectangle, so I erase it and I redo it. So basically this is gonna be like the middle of his chest. And then he has like a circle right here for the belt, so we could add that. So now for the actual arms. So for the shoulder, we're gonna do a basic shape of doing this like oval shape. And right here I'm just pointing out that it should roughly be the same thickness as the legs. It's more of a circle, I gotta say, but it should be like an oval shape. And then it curves down a little bit right here for the arm. And right there I do a reference line just to show you guys where it goes up to, or down to, I mean. So it's basically at the same level as the waist. Now for the top part, it's basically like a straight line in a way. And now we're gonna do the wrist. And another thing that I'm gonna point out is basically right here is basically like half the length of the circle, and it should also be the same as the foot, you know. So now here for the actual arm, we're just gonna do a simple shape to make it a little bit easier on us once we do add all the fingers. So just do this like almost triangle shape in a way, like gumdrop shape. So now we're gonna do the other arm on top of him. Starts around there, and it starts around here. I'm also, it should be basically the same thickness as the arm and the leg. So then it connects to another one right here, basically is the arm going up. And then I just close it off at the top and just make a straight line in the wrist area. And once again, it should be the same, the wrist like line should be the same as the other arm, and the bottom of the foot, like the ankle. So then we're gonna do this like oval shape right there, and then we're gonna do a line going across, and then we're just gonna curve it right here, and basically that's gonna be one of the hands. We could add the fingers later on. So if you guys notice, those two arms are basically the same thickness throughout the arm. So let's try to do that for these other two right here. So this one, gotta say around there, we're gonna do this like oval shape. Once again, try to make it the same thickness as the other arms. Just keep that in mind, guys, that way it doesn't look weird once we do all the arms. And I gotta say, it goes up to and lines up where the leg is. It might not add up the same to you guys, so you guys could basically just do the oval shape around that big. Right here I'm just pointing out once again that it should be the same thickness. I can't say that enough. And then it goes down, and we're gonna do another oval shape like this. This one's a little bit smaller than the one on top, but once again it should be basically the same thickness. Now that we have that, that's the forearm, we're gonna do the straight line, and we're basically gonna do like an outline of the fingers. So it goes up to the arm, basically like a straight line at the top, and it goes back down. So basically that's like the outline of the fingers of the hand. Once again, it should be the same size almost as the other hands, so that's another thing that you guys might want to keep in mind. Now we're gonna do the last arm. Starts around there. Once again, I point out that it should basically be the same thickness, and this one comes out from the top of his head, as long as it connects to the other side, guys. Now for the forearm, goes up, and then it just closes off right there. Once again, that line of the wrist should be the same length as the other arms and the ankles. Now we're gonna do the outline of the hand. So it's basically like this rectangle shape. Once again, just try to make sure that that rectangle shape is almost the same size as the hands on each of the arms. Although if you guys notice, the bottom right one is a little bit smaller, and I think it ends up, I do extend it later on once I do my final drawing, but you guys could do that now, you know, just try to make all four hands the same size. So now that we have that, guys, we're gonna start adding the details. So just pay a little close attention to this part right here. So we're gonna do this line right there. Goes, I gotta say, to the bottom, to the middle of the bottom right triangle. It goes up to around there. And basically, that's gonna be like the mouth, the top lip, that is. Now we could just do the top, and it's basically gonna follow the same as the other line, and just try to make it the same thickness throughout. There we go. Now for the actual mouth, so the mouth starts around there. It's basically like a straight line once it goes to the left, and then it curves up and it connects to this one right there. Gotta say, like in the middle of the left side of the circle. So now we could do the bottom lip, and right here it gets thin, but the further that it goes, it gets thicker, and it goes to around here, and then it just connects to the top. If you guys look at the reference, you guys will get a better idea what we're doing. That's why I have it up there. There we go, guys. So we got the mouth. Now we could just work on the things he has on the top of his head. So it starts off around there, and it just goes up. As long as you guys have space for the eye. Now it's gonna go up a little bit higher than the arm. Now that we know where to go, we could just start over here at the bottom and just curve it and connect it to the top right there and get the shape. So now for the other one, there's a small gap in between these, but they start off at the same level, basically at the middle of the line of the circle, and then this one goes to around there. So now this one goes a little bit higher than the other one, and then we could just start at the bottom and basically do the shape and just connect it up to right there. If you guys notice, they're almost the same thickness also, these things that he has on his head. So once again, just try to make them the same size. Now for the last one, once again, it starts off at the same level, But then this one at the top is a little bit lower, and you guys could just connect it right here. There we go. Right here I'm just erasing those lines since we already have them, and I like where I placed them, looks good, so I'm just gonna erase the inside. And now we could just do this line for the eye, as long as the eye is big enough. And then he has, for the actual eye, is like an oval shape, and then just the line in the inside. Right here I'm just working on the lip just to show a little bit better on the video. And then I noticed that this line actually extends a little bit more up. Alright, so it helps moving from one spot to the other when we're doing our sketch. So right here I'm just doing the other eye, just making sure that it's at the same level as the other one. And I could barely do it, so small, so I just leave it like that. Alright, so now here for the actual waist area, we're gonna do the belt. So it doesn't start at the bottom of the circle, as you guys notice. And right here I think I do it a little bit too big, like too thick. I do change that once I do my final drawing, but you guys could just do it this way, just to make it a little bit more simple. And then he has like an inner circle right there. We won't go into details for that. You guys could just do that later on. And now we could just connect this side. Right there, I actually curve it, go up a little bit from the waist, and then go to the right. But it should basically just go from the waist to the arm, to the shoulder. So around half of the of this thigh, this leg, it has this like shape. It's like the muscle that's being highlighted. So right here I'm just doing the top of the foot, I mean the leg. You guys could try to do the shape looking at the reference, but I do do it a little bit better later on. So now that we have that, we could just do this line right here. And then there's another one on the other side. It's basically his 4-pack or 6-pack. So now a little bit higher than that, we're gonna do his chest. And just look at the reference, that way you guys can get a better idea where we at. So now the same thing on this side. And it connects to the shoulder right there. So these are basically at the same level his chest is. So now right here he has like another line that's just basically his collarbone. So he only has a small line in the middle, so we could erase the top and the bottom. So now we're gonna move up here to one of the hands and just try to make them all the same thickness. So basically there should be 3 lines, which makes 1, 2, 3, 4, as I'm counting there with my pencil, just to make sure it's the right amount of fingers. 4, and then the thumb is basically the oval shape. So then right there it's the wrist area. And then right here I'm just doing like this detail of one of the muscles. And he has like these 2 little lines right here. It's just small details, guys. We're going slowly, you know, trying to work on getting all these small details. Then right here he actually shows like a muscle right there on the shoulder. And once again, just look at the reference just so you guys can get a better idea of what we're doing. That way it's not that confusing. And at the same time, we could be erasing some of these lines that are not actually on the actual drawing. So now for this leg, this thigh, we're here just adding the small details. small one right there. Goes up. There's a small gap. There's another line. And then there's a small gap, and then there's another one. Now we could erase the inside, like one of the corners of the square that we did for the crotch. So now right here for the foot, it's actually easy. We're just gonna do this rock shape or like weird shape right there. Now we could do the other one. Small detail right there. So now we can erase the ankle line. Now for the other side, the same thing. We're gonna start out by doing one of the toes. And right here, I'm just looking at the reference and looking at the actual shape of his foot. It's like a small detail right there. Erase that line. And then for the bottom right here, just do the actual shape or the way that it is on the reference. It's not an actual rectangle. That was just there just to help us. Alright, so now for this one, like I said before, I end up making this a little bit longer later on, but we could basically once again do the fingers. And one of the things that I was focusing on while I was doing the fingers was making sure that they're basically the same size as the other fingers from the other hand, or hands I should say, although these right here are a little bit smaller than the ones he has on the two hands that he's raising up. So the ones that are racing up are a little bit bigger than these two at the bottom. Same thing on this side. We can start by doing the fingers, just making sure that all four of them are basically the same thickness. It might take you guys a couple tries. And once again, try to make them the same size as the ones in the other hands. Small detail right there. Now we could do the bottom of the hand. Erase some of the lines, that way it doesn't confuse us. Once again, highlight the muscle right here on his shoulder. This one curves up a little bit. Now here for the ribs is basically the same line. We can use the same line as we did earlier. Now we can move to this one. Once again, I'm just doing the small details for the muscles. And then this one curves in once it gets to the top. And we could just do the thumb right here. It's basically once again a circle. Just try to make it the same size as the other one on the other hand. And now we could just do a line just like we did on the other one. And now we could just start off by doing the fingers. Once again, I start off by doing that one, and I'm trying to make them the same thickness as the thumb, just because it should be the same thickness, you know. Although it's a little bit bigger, but we could just do the same. And just try to fit all four fingers, you know. Do the bottom of the hand right there, it curves. And just add a small detail right there. So right here I'm just doing once again the actual shape of the arm. So there's like a muscle right there. We're gonna highlight it by doing the detail right here at the bottom, and then we could just connect it. So right here we're gonna do kind of like the elbow. So if you guys notice, the shapes that we did earlier, not the actual shapes of the arms or the chest or the legs or anything, we just have them there as a guideline to do the actual outline of whatever we're doing. So right here I'm just erasing some of the parts that doesn't have an actual line, you know. And so right here it does. Basically looking at the reference, trying to get that shape right. The elbow. Sorry guys, I'm doing this pretty late. And then right here I'm just doing curving it a little bit for the actual muscle once again. And then right here curves out a little bit, but then this line goes straight to the other one. Now erase some of the lines from the oval shapes that we did earlier. Small detail right there that basically makes the chest. There we go. Working on the outline on this arm. Adding some of the details and just adding some small details and working on the outline, you know, forming the muscles, curving them. It slowly starts to make the actual drawing. Right here, highlighting that muscle once again. Right here, the bottom is actually like a straight line, so we could basically do a straight line. So I recommend just looking at the actual reference, just so you guys can get a better idea of how the lines look, you know, the outline and everything. So just go over your drawing, guys, and basically we got our sketch. Right here, just do the last toe that we need, and just make any changes. If something doesn't look right, now is the time to change it. We basically got our sketch. So I like where I placed everything, so once I do my final outline, I basically keep everything the same, just do the lines a little bit better, but I don't change much. I think the only thing I change is the bottom right arm. The hand I do a little bit longer, like the fingers, although in the end it's still a little bit shorter. I wish I would have, the only thing I would have changed would be to extend the arm a little bit longer, but it's still okay, you know. Just erasing that middle line from the reference from earlier, the oval shape. Just curving this part of the leg a little bit, looking at the reference, because that's how it has it. It may take a couple tries, guys, to do like the actual outline of the foot and everything, and just use the shapes earlier as a guideline. So basically right there's like a straight line, and then this one curves a little bit and it just connects right there. And then for the belt, there's like these little rectangle shapes right there, and then it has these small circles. It has two on this side, and it has two on this side in the inside, and one on the outside right here. And we're basically done, guys. Now, like I said before, just go over your drawing, erase any of those reference lines, look at the reference just to get a better idea of what you guys are doing. It helps a lot more than following my sketch right here, because like I said, it is a sketch. So now from here on, if there's something that doesn't look right, if your hands, one is bigger than the other one, then go ahead and change it. Try to make them all the same size. Now's the perfect time to do it. Now, just because we have the full sketch, you know, it's a lot easier to notice any mistakes. And also, once again, all the arms should be basically the same thickness. The same thing for the legs. If you guys look at the reference, they're the same thickness. So once again, try to keep that throughout the whole drawing. That way it's not a little bit off, you know. That way one arm is not bigger or skinnier than the other. And basically that's it, guys. Right here you just see me erasing some of those lines that don't belong in the drawing, like these reference lines that we did. And just from here on, like I said, add your details, make any changes, and basically that's it, guys. We got our Machamp sketch. Hopefully you guys did a good job. If you guys got this far and are drawing Machamp, let me know in the comment section. I would love to know how many people are drawing Machamp. You know, it helps me out a lot just knowing how many people am I helping, you know, like how many people actually try to do the what's it called, the drawing. So right here I'm just working a little bit on the shape of the fingers, you know, looking at the reference once again, and just making the outline. If you guys notice, like some of the like those fingers, you know, are a little bit longer than the others. Right here I try to work on the shape of the thumb right there. If you guys notice, this thumb on that hand and the one on the left side are basically the same size. So once again, like I said before, just try to have them the same size, you know, keep it consistent. So there we go, guys. So from here on, just make your changes, look at the reference, that's why I have it up there. There's a lot of things you guys could do from now on. Something that I do personally to all my drawings is basically I erase it since it's a sketch. You guys can keep it like that, you know, and just make it your drawing. But I like erasing my whole drawing, and even though I'm erasing it, I can still see those lines, they're still there. So then I just slowly go line by line, you know. I'm gonna show you guys the way I started. So basically right here I start off in one area, usually it's like on the face. So right here I started on the face, on the mouth, you know, and just started and looked at the reference and just made any changes that I felt were necessary, you know, because if you guys notice, his like outline curves a lot, you know, especially because of the muscles, especially on the mouth. And just try to make it all like better, you know, just follow your sketch and just go from there, like you see me doing here. And then from there I started doing one of the arm, following the same sketch that I did, just because I like where I placed it. If you guys are not happy with it, you guys can make any changes now. And just started there, then went to the chest area, then for the waist, you know, and added all the small details, and just basically made any changes. Like I said before, one of the things that I did change was the thickness of the belt. Before it was a lot thicker. Here I made it a little bit thinner. The left side is a little bit like wider than the one on the right, just because if you guys look at the reference, that's how it has it. So I'm just paying attention to the reference, and then I just do that, you know, and finish my drawing that way. And I basically follow the same as my sketch. And here is the final outline. It's basically the same as my sketch, guys, but since I erased it and did the lines a little bit better, you know, it looks a lot cleaner and it looks a little bit more better this way. But it's still the same as the sketch, just a lot cleaner, and just the lines I made them a little bit better, you know. I followed the reference as close as I could, making all the right like curves on the outline, the muscles, you know. And basically that's it. Like I said before, I did extend the fingers on the bottom right arm a little bit, but just looking at it right now, it's a little bit short. Like just looking at it, it's a little bit weird. I could have fixed that by extending the arm a little bit more. So if I could go back, that's one of the things I would have changed, just because the bottom right arm looks a little bit weird. But it's still okay, you know, it's not a big difference. Although looking at the reference, there is a big difference, but it's alright if you guys don't compare them. And that's it. Like I said before, try to have all the fingers on the hands the same size. Although the ones on top, the two top hands are the fingers are a little bit bigger, so I try to do that, you know. I kept the top a little bit bigger than the bottom two, but basically the same size in a way, and then the bottom two the same size compared to each other. And that's it, guys. I just added all the small details for the muscles, the little lines that highlight the muscles, and we're basically done, guys. So you guys could use my outline right here just to help you guys out, or you guys once again can use the reference, and basically that's it. So here I did end up coloring it. As you guys can see here, I used my Prisma Premier color markers. I started off by using like the lightest gray that I had, and then just going over like the shadows, you know, on the arms, for example on the bottom right leg, you know, and just added all those shadows with the light gray. And then I waited for that light gray to dry, and then I went over with the same gray on the darker spots, for example on the right side of his face, on the arm that's going up, like right there at the bottom, basically on the on the armpit. It's a little bit darker than some of the rest of the arm, so I just went over there a little bit, that way it could be a little bit darker. The same thing on the other arm that's going up, like on the shoulder area, it's a little bit darker. And that's it, guys. And then after that, I just went over it with the lightest blue that I had. It's not exactly the right blue, because if you guys look at the reference, he's kind of like a light blue greenish color. And I didn't have the right colors, obviously. It's hard having the exact colors unless you guys have like a big box of markers or crayons or whatever you guys are using to color them. If you guys are gonna color them, then just try to do them like, use the closest colors that you guys have, or you guys could always just look up the shiny version, and if you have those colors for the shiny version, then you guys could go ahead and just color it that way. The only thing I don't like now looking at it is those things that he has on top of his head. It looks a little bit weird. It just looks off. If you guys look at the reference, they're a lot lighter, but like I said before, I didn't have those colors that pale, so I used what I had, so I basically used the lightest brown that I had, but it just doesn't look right at all. But it still looks okay, like I usually don't color my drawings. The only reason I color them is just for these videos. But it's okay, it's not a big deal, guys. You guys could do a better job for sure. And then for the lips or the mouth, I used the yellow. Once again, it's a lot lighter on the reference. On the actual Machamp, it's a faded yellow, like a whitish yellow. But once again, I don't have those colors, so I used the closest ones that I had, which was just the regular yellow. Once again, I used the light gray to go before I used the yellow, like on the shadows, and then I just went over it, and obviously it's gonna make the shadows a little bit darker, like a darker shade of yellow. For the actual mouth, the inside, I used the pink, but once again, like I said, I used the light gray to go over it, and then I just went over it with the pink, just to make the pink a little bit darker, so just, you guys could do that effect with your pencils, like the shading, and then just going over with the marker, whatever, just makes it a little bit darker. For the crotch area, his like belt, for the belt, I used again the same yellow, and then he has like a letter P inside of the belt, which is red, so I used the red. And then for the belt, the actual belt is like a brown, like a dark brown, and then for the little balls that he has is like yellow, so I colored those yellow too. And then for his shorts, I guess I should have called them shorts, or whatever it is. I don't want to say other names for it. I used black, and then for like the small highlight on the top left of them, I just used like a lighter gray, and that's it, guys. And then basically that's it. And then for the eyes, obviously I used the red, and we're basically done, guys. And I did end up outlining it with the black pen. I could have used the Sharpie or something else, but the fine tip Sharpie is a little bit too thick. The outline would have been a little bit too much, so just using a regular black pen, it's the right thickness, it just makes it stand out a little bit more and ends up looking a little bit more better, instead of leaving it in pencil, because in pencil you wouldn't be able to see some of the highlights just because the color, the markers overpowers the pencil. So I just use the black outline using the pen just to make it a little bit more better, but overall, guys, I'm happy with it. In real life, it looks a little bit better than it does on video, than on the picture. It's just the colors are a lot brighter, a lot better. But hopefully you guys, I was able to help you guys do Machamp, guys. I'm sorry if some of you guys had a hard time. If you guys need any help, you guys could always leave a comment, and if I could get to you guys, I'll be happy to reply and maybe help out in any way, and maybe other people could help you out also. And let me know how your Machamp turned out. Remember that you guys could always send in your drawings to be featured at the beginning of my videos. The links will be in the description below for my Twitter and my email. Just send them in, guys. If you guys have a Twitter, make sure to go follow me. That way you guys can find out whenever I upload a video, and then there's the best way to contact me, if you guys have any questions, or just in general you guys want to talk, you guys could always send me a message on Twitter, and send me your drawings. I'll be happy to feature them at the beginning of my videos. And also, I would just love to see all your drawings, Pokemon drawings, that is. If you guys drew Machamp, I would love to see how it turned out. So once again, let me know in the comment section if you guys did end up drawing Machamp and how it came out. And if you guys have any suggestions of any Pokemon that you guys want me to draw, make sure to leave a comment. Just keep in mind that there's so many Pokemon, so many suggestions, that it might take me a while for me to do the Pokemon that you guys want me to draw. And you guys could always just check my channel. I have over 150 Pokemon drawing tutorials, so maybe I already have the Pokemon that you guys want me to draw, or you guys could just check out all the videos that I have. Maybe there's one that you guys want to draw. So yeah guys, so I just want to thank you guys for watching, and I guess I'll just catch you guys on the next video. Team Rocket Draws out.